So maybe I was wrong. I'm sorry, guys. This movie was... So this movie ends phase 4 of Marvel, and give me a moment, guys. Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman. We did not see him fill this role again, and we would never will. That was a sad day. And recently, Kevin Conroy just passed, which is also sad as well. Comic book community is really feeling it right now. And just like this movie, it had a big impact. Like beginning, right when they start, they talk about it. They don't hide away from it. They go straight into it, just setting the mood for this film. And this movie sets up how it's going to be for the rest of the film and the gravity of the situation. This didn't feel like a Marvel movie. Like, it was shot beautifully. And whether you hate Eternals or not, Eternals is one of the best filmed, best shot Marvel films. This movie has to beat it because it has the shots. The characters actually have time to act. The jokes, I mean, we'll get to that in a bit, but not all of them felt so forced, or they didn't feel like a Marvel type of comedy. It just felt normal for that situation at some points, not always, but at some points. This just had so much gravity and weight to it that other Marvel films, especially lately, or production wise, seem to have lost or don't know what to do. As in, this film knows what it wants to be and it sticks to that tone through the whole entire way. Something that every great Marvel film has done in the past. And because I feel like every Marvel movie, especially, well, I'm gonna compare this to Captain America series. I feel like the first one followed like the origin and how the original comics were, both in Captain America and the first Black Panther. But in Black Panther being a little more mature and better quality type of film, especially with Killmonger. And this one just feels like a continuation of the last film. Sort of like how Batman Begins and Dark Knight were. They were just one continuous story, and this is what this one feels like, even with the passing of Chadwick. And this also being a big this felt more like a farewell to Chadwick Boseman and the legacy he left behind. And it puts us in the shoes of Shuri. And yes, I know there's problems with the actress. I'm not going to get into any of that. That this movie keeps the emotional stakes very, very high, while also introducing and doing a lot of things for the Marvel Cinematic Universe in a very pristine way. And it is absolutely incredible what this movie does. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm just gonna say it. It's a beautiful film, because you're gonna hear me gush about this film in a bit, but this movie is almost flawless in my opinion. If you did not like this movie, there's something wrong with you. And especially for mi gente la raza, you will not be disappointed. I haven't even got to the Namor part yet. And I'll save a lot of that stuff for the spoiler talk, so it will be the last half of this. Namor, played by Tenoch Huerta. I hope I said that right. I'm not gonna lie, with his whole story, and it's not as plain and simple. Like, he's the villain. And just like the comics, I feel like the Black Panther stories are always a little more grounded in politics. That's why we get politics in here, which is also a refreshing take on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because let's all just agree that Marvel needs to start changing and maturing, because the jokes are getting old. I've been talking to a lot of my friends and my family, and we're all kind of getting tired of the jokey stuff. We need better writing. We need less rush production. And this right here makes up for it. This is probably the best. This is the best Marvel Phase 4 film. Probably and easily one of the top 5 for me personally. Marvel Universe movies. Because our cinematic universe. Because Namor, the way they depicted our culture, my culture, I got emotional. I didn't, it was beautiful. I'm trying to hold back. But the fact that we saw people on the big screen, seeing our culture being celebrated and showed to other people is just, it was amazing. Like, I can't tell y'all, I was very emotional in the film. And seeing that depicted, and I'm trying not to get all emotional and shit. Sorry. seeing that and giving us the spotlight for a little bit. Thank you, Ryan Coogler. You're gonna get the Latino card for the rest of your life for what you did. Yes, I feel like, yeah, my only complaint about the whole thing is that blacks and browns, instead of uniting, and I know it's like in the comics, but Namor's not Latino in the comics, and this is how he looks like. That's the only thing I don't like, how we're pitted against each other and we should be rising up together. But we need a villain for this. And he acts just like he does in the comics. He's a dick. He is a straight up dick. But in this, it feels like what they did with Punisher, they humanized him a lot. Like, it's not a clear path of darkness. It's not even dark. He's just looking out for his people. It's not just him he has to worry about. He has to worry about his people and how his people see him and everything else. And I'll say that for the spoiler part to go more in detail. But he delivered a powerful performance. Every actor and actress delivered a powerful performance. And like my buddy Travis said, I don't think people were actually crying. I think they were actually expressing their real emotions that they had for Chadwick, because they were still grieving from their friend and the loss that they endured. And because we're fans, but they probably knew him a little more personally than we did. And this movie does a lot for the Marvel Cinematic Universe as well, like introducing a whole lot of stuff. But we'll save that for the spoiler part. But the fact that they could do emotional stakes, a great film, great writing, great camera work, and letting the actors actually breathe in the scene, giving them time to, giving us also to accept the emotions that they're emitting. This movie is quite fantastic and easily top 5 of the best movies of this year. Not just in general for Marvel or superhero movies. No, for this year. There's been a lot of solid competition this year. There's a lot of great films. This has to be up. This definitely is up there. My only complaints are that making Namor the bad guy, and I know he's not totally bad. We understand why, but it's complicated. It's not a straight line. Just making him the bad guy, I just don't agree with that. Or, I mean, maybe they would change him in the later on, but I don't like that part. That's the only little part I don't like. Even though he did a great performance as what he did with the role, great performance all around the board with him and our culture as well. That's just, and my other complaint is just some of the jokes, man. They're like, did we need that joke right there? And when you watch it, you know, or you saw it, you know what I mean. Let me know down in the comments too. Like, if you're tired of the jokes, because in the comics, it feels like they're a little more serious than the actual films. So, are you gonna make films for everyone, or are you gonna make films for kids? That's just my opinion. And I'm gonna have to rate this, guys. I'm gonna have to give it straight fire. 9 out of 10. Yes, I would have gave it that 10 for 10. It might change. I might give it the classic, the 10, the go for gold, but right now I'm feeling a 9 out of 10. Go watch this movie. If you haven't watched it, this movie is beautiful. And you get ready. You're gonna get emotional. Everybody was emotional. I went to the premiere. The movie started. Nobody clapped because they just hit you in the face right away. And when the movie ended, everybody was quiet because you could tell everybody was sad about the whole Chadwick thing. Alright, guys. Spoilers ahead. 1, 2, you have been warned. So, guys, this movie does a lot. And whenever she went into the spirit realm, she saw Killmonger, which was a big deal. That was a nice cameo, and it made sense for what she was going through in the emotional time that she was in. I was talking with one of the guys from Crossover Comics. Go ahead and look them up, guys. They are amazing community of comic content creators on TikTok and all around the board. Me and him were talking about how they're gonna bring the Black Panther back. And we were debating maybe she made a suit. No, she made the herb and she became Black Panther, but it was coming at a dark price. And then the way she resolved it, it wasn't a straight, like, it had to be a compromise on both sides. Everything that happened in the last film, the ramifications from the last film bleed into this story in a very great way. This movie actually felt like a Black Panther comic, and that's the closest thing I could describe it as. Even though I still don't like the black and browns going against each other, I just don't like that. I mean, personally, that's just a personal thing for me, guys. And did anybody else notice at the end, M'Baku wanted to challenge her for the throne? That's interesting for the next one, because I know M'Baku is actually a villain in the comics. Maybe he might turn on her for the throne. Maybe he doesn't agree with her. I don't know. But that was interesting at the end, how they pulled that. And Namor, what he said at the end, having Wakanda work for them. Knowing the way Namor is in the comics, he's not gonna let that go so easily. And those two hate each other. This is what happened in Secret War. I mean, Secret War. Was it Secret Wars? This is what happened, what he did. He ended up flooding them. Let's get to Namor. They did the Yucatan and they did the culture a great service by showing everybody what that was. Yeah, I'm not gonna get emotional again. I'm not, but I like the retelling and the reworked origin for Namor in this film. The resonance it has and will still always be with me for this movie, because seeing Marvel do this for Latinos was really special. And especially with him being dark skinned too, because I used to be a little darker, but now that I've been working inside now, my skin got a little lighter over the years. And him being dark, actually seeing other actors that are darker too, and seeing other Latinos on screen really brought a lot of joy, because this is a big blockbuster. This is a big old spotlight that they gave us. And his origin of Namor, El Niño Sin Amor, which Namor, No Amor, I think that's how they were going for it, right? If not, let me know down in the comments. But nobody else is talking about this, but he said he's a mutant. That means he's the first mutant. I know Miss Marvel, she's got a mutation. Are we finally gonna start seeing at least some of the X-Men bleed out into the universe? And does that mean we're gonna get the X-Men actually be like Latinos or Afro-Latinos or just different type of ethnicities? Because that would be nice. Have some more of us on screen. Namor, this is crazy. And the fact that Namor is super strong, and the fact that they gave him the wings, and it looked corny at first, but they made it work. That was totally badass. And the Kukulkan, I love that shit. And like the fact that they pulled from real mythology and stuff like that is just, and his suit is so badass, man. I want to wear that shit too, man. Shit, I hope like fighters, like you'll start seeing boxers like start wearing that, the crown and stuff like that. That would be awesome. He was fighting for his people, or he wanted his people to stay well, but the way he was carrying out his ways was unethical, to say the least. But you kind of understand him, especially in his ways. He can't trust the surface world. It made sense, and I enjoyed, but the character felt like it was 3D, and I felt bad too, because when he gave her the bracelet, you could tell like they were trying to resolve this in a peaceful manner. But like in real life, countries are, stuff like that is more complicated, and you can't just resolve things peacefully sometimes another, they don't want to compromise, or it's just compromises aren't done, and there has to be blood in the water, which sucks. But overall, this whole movie wrapped up together in a nice little bow. Like, this movie is beautiful, and especially with the whole T'Challa's kid at the end, which is better than the stupid online theory that I was hearing for a while, how the kid, they were gonna fast forward a couple of years and the kid was gonna become the new Black Panther. I mean, maybe he might take it down the line since they started implanting the new heart-shaped herb into the ground. We don't know, but I hope Shuri stays as Black Panther, because she has some of the better storylines. Oh, and if you're interested in her runs, I would say stick to the Reggie Hudlin run. She's the Black Panther. Let me know what y'all thought down below in the comments, guys. You think I went on too much? Let me know what y'all thought. Did y'all like what they changed for Namor? Did you enjoy the movie as much as I did? Let me know what y'all thought. If this is the best Marvel movie, you know what? Tell me this, guys. Name your top 5 MCU movies down below. I would love to see what y'all's opinions are. What is the best top 5 MCU movies for y'all? And if you want to throw in X-Men, that's fine. Blade, that's fine. But let me know down below in the comments, guys. I'll see y'all next time. I have Star Wars planned for the end of the month since Andor's coming out. So I'll have Obi-Wan, Darth Vader Omnibus review. And right now, I am cracking open the Black Panther Omnibus. So that's what I have next, guys. Thanks again, guys. I really appreciate y'all watching and just enjoying what I make. I really appreciate it. You guys have no idea how much it means to me personally. And I'll see y'all next time. Deuces, y'all. I'm out.